Good afternoon, everyone. We're talking about a case that happened in Kerala, and it was a bank robbery, and we have Anirban Bhattacharyya, who's written a crime thriller on it. And quite unusually, you have the Kerala police in a very positive role. Usually they come in for a lot of criticism, but in this book, they have been pictured in a very positive light. Shri Vijayan IPS is actually the hero of this entire narrative. And before we go into the book, Anirban Bhattacharyya wears many hats. He's a very diverse personality. He was scripting Savdhan India, and he was a stand-up comedian, guilty as charged. He writes crime thrillers, book of poetry, as well as a book for young adults. And now he's bringing out a memoir as well. So, well, this is a question I'm sure that you must have faced many times. Why Kerala and why Chelembra?
Hello everybody, thank you so much for coming to our session. Apologies that I can't speak Malayalam. I shall communicate with you in English.
Can I just interrupt? Though he can't speak Malayalam, the book contains
lots of punch dialogues in Malayalam. Lots of punch dialogues in Malayalam. I just want to correct one thing, that Vijayan sir is actually not the hero. The team is the hero. And that's why we have got, Vikraman sir and Mohanachandran sir, who were the lead investigating officers on, the Chelembra case, here with us to tell us about it. Why Kerala? Because I'm Bengali. I love Kerala. I love the state. Everything is good about Kerala. Nothing wrong. We like our fish curry also, mean curry. Sleeping in the afternoon is necessary. But this case, I was very fascinated because there is nothing written about this case in the media. And it is one of the landmark cases of Kerala police and the way it was solved. So I wanted to actually write about this case so that the world knows about this small village called Chelembra, where India's biggest bank robbery took place of 80 kgs of gold in 2007, which was a huge amount back then. So I guess that's why.
So this is to you, sir. How was it like to be on the floor, so to speak, dealing with the case? Because it took a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of hard work. Madindu experience എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു?
ഇത് 2007-ലാണത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്. സംഭവം എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്നതാണ്, കേരളക്കാർക്ക് അധികം അറിയാവുന്നൊരു സംഭവമാണിത്. ഒരുപാട് കേസുകളുടെ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റിഗേഷനിലൊക്കെ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ 27 ഇയേഴ്സ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് പോലീസ് സർവീസ് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഞാൻ റിട്ടയറായി. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഒരുപാട് കേസുകളുടെ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റിഗേഷനിൽ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇതിലെ ഒരു സ്ട്രൈക്കിംഗ് കേസാവാനുള്ള കാരണം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, നേരത്തെ അനിർബൻ പറഞ്ഞത് പ്രോപ്പർട്ടി ലോസ്റ്റ്. ഇറ്റ് വാസ് അറൗണ്ട് 86 kg ഓഫ് ഗോൾഡ് ആയിരുന്നു. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അതിന് വളരെയധികം ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് വന്നു. പിന്നെ കേസ് ഡിറ്റക്ഷൻ ആവുന്നത് വരെ ആക്ച്വലി ദ കൾപിറ്റ് വാസ് ദ ഹീറോ, ദ വേ ഹി ഓപ്പറേറ്റഡ്. കാരണം അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു മോഡസ് ഓപ്പറാൻഡി ആയിരുന്നു അത്. ഹി ടൂക്ക് എവറി ഇഞ്ച് ഓഫ് ഹിസ് ബ്രെയിൻ, എവറി സെൽസ് ഓഫ് ഹിസ് ബ്രെയിൻ, അങ്ങനെ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള നന്നായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കേസായിരുന്നു അത്. ഡിറ്റക്ഷൻ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു 56 ഡേയ്സ്, ഒരു 57 ഡേയ്സ് എപ്പിസോഡ് എടുത്തു. ആക്ച്വൽ ഹീറോ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വിക്രമൻ തന്നെയാണ്. കാരണം വിക്രമൻ ആ സമയത്ത് ആ ഏരിയയിലെ ഓഫീസറായിരുന്നു. ഞാനൊക്കെ ആ ടീമിലൊരു മെമ്പറായിരുന്നു, സ്പെഷ്യൽ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റിഗേഷൻ ടീമായിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങൾ. ഇത് സംഭവിച്ച സ്ഥലത്ത് തന്നെ ചെന്ന് നോക്കിയപ്പോൾ തന്നെ അന്ന് വിജയൻ സാറായിരുന്നു ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ IG. അദ്ദേഹമായിരുന്നു അതിൻ്റെ ഇൻചാർജ്, ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് പോലീസ് ചീഫായിരുന്നു. Automatically he could select the team from the district everywhere. So I was selected. Another 2 officers were there. Some policeman was there. Vikraman was already there. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ടീമായിരുന്നു. ഷൗക്കത്തിൽ I am missing at this occasion. He also played a very pivot role in that. Now he is in the ATS. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ആ ഒരു ടീം അന്ന് ഗ്യാദർ ചെയ്തത്. പിന്നീട് അതിലുള്ള ഓപ്പറേഷൻസ് എല്ലാ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ നമുക്കത് സിസ്റ്റം കുറേ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരുപാട് സമയം, I don't know how much time I am left here. സോ അതുകൊണ്ട് അത്ര ഡീറ്റെയിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നില്ല. എന്തു തന്നെയായാലും അത് ഒരു ഓപ്പറേഷന് വേണ്ടി, ഒരു ബാങ്ക് റോബറി നടത്തുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അതിൻ്റെ താഴത്തുള്ള ഒരു ഹോട്ടൽ ലീസിനെടുക്കുക. ആ ഹോട്ടലിൽ ലീസ് എടുത്തിട്ട് അവിടെ ഒരു റിപ്പയർ വർക്കാണെന്ന് വരുത്തുക. ആ റിപ്പയർ വർക്ക് വരുന്ന സമയത്തുള്ള കുറച്ചുള്ള മറ്റേ ഈ ഹാമറിൻ്റെ ഇടിയും മറ്റൊക്കെ ഉള്ളതും മറ്റേ പ്രിപ്പയർ വർക്കൊക്കെ ഈവൻ ദേ കുഡ് ക്യാരി ഔട്ട് ദ ബാങ്ക് റോബറി ഇൻ ദ ഡേ ടൈം ഓൾസോ. കാരണം 2 ഹോളിഡേയ്സ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഒന്ന് എൻഷുർ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യം മാത്രമേ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ. ആൻഡ് ഈവൻ ദേ ട്രൈ ടു ബ്ലാസ്റ്റ് ഓപ്പറേറ്ററിനെ നോക്കിയ സമയത്ത് ദേ വർ എൻഷുറിങ് ദാറ്റ് ഒരു പ്രൊസഷൻ, അടുത്തൊരു ടെമ്പിളിൽ നിന്നൊരു പ്രൊസഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അതെ, ആ പ്രൊസഷൻ പോകുന്ന സമയത്ത് അവരുപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ക്രാക്കേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഒരു ക്യാമോഫ്ലാഷ് അവർ ഓപ്പറേഷന് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടി അവർ ശ്രമിച്ചു. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഒരു നല്ല മൈൻഡ് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള.
But don't tell the entire plot. No one will buy the book. What you're doing? What you're doing, sir?
Well, Anirban, this is to you. It's very rare that you find a police officer who's still in service, still alive, portrayed as the hero of a story.
Okay, I'll ask this
rare.
crowd. How many of you know about P. Vijayan, sir? Put your hand up. Put your hand up. This is the answer. Everybody knows about P. Vijayan, sir. He is an amazing man. The social work that he does, with his student police initiative and all of that, everybody knows him. So, for me, I did not know Vijayan, sir, right? I chased this case for 10 years. I wanted to write this book for 10 years. I could not get any information because there's nothing online, right? During the pandemic, one day I called up my friend who's Mallu, in Kochi. His name is Rajesh Abraham. I told him, Abraham, you know this person or what? Vijayan, he has solved the case. So he said, I am going to meet him tomorrow. For 10 years I was chasing, and then one phone call on that one day, and the next day that person was going to meet Vijayan, sir. They say, that when things are meant to happen, it will happen. So that is how I got in touch with him, and I love the man. I have no shame in admitting or, that I love Vijayan, sir, because he is a superb leader, and Mohanachandran sir and Vikraman sir will tell you.
They could talk about his leadership.
He's an amazing leader. The way he chose this team to solve the Chelembra case is also very crucial. The way he picked up, every officer. So he's a fabulous man, and it's great that we should celebrate, people like him. Vikraman sir, what do you think of Vijayan sir as a team leader and during the Chelembra case?
Being in the police, മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാം, പോലീസ് ഞാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കീഴുദ്യോഗസ്ഥനാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് കൂടുതൽ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ you will think that I am flattering him. But he has come from the very humble background and become one of the greatest successful person in Kerala. I think I am audible. Okay. Successful person in the world, and he has made a lot of changes in the police. Student police cadet, now it is being celebrated across the state. It is being copied in other states also. It is his idea, his brainchild. Of course, a team has worked with it. And this case, I request everybody to read this book, because actually the hero in this book is the first accused, because he is such a brilliant man. Because of his brain only, it has happened. Because of luck, we were able to crack him.
Yeah.
Now there is some emotional thing also. He was in love with a woman and he married her, and she was having some issue with the pregnancy.
Don't give climax away, na?
No. I am not. Due to that emotional thing only, he was forced to some hospital here in Calcutta.
Yes. Very good. Baby Memorial Hospital climax takes place there. No more. Vikraman sir, what are you doing?
I request everybody to
He's just
to read
exciting
this
them,
book.
creating the suspense.
That's all.
So let's move on to a safer topic.
Yes.
How was it doing research for this? How much help
Research
did you
was
get?
crazy. Research was crazy, because during the pandemic I could not come down to all these places. So every week we used to meet online. So there was some 12 or 14 team members I was talking with, every week, and giving them homework. It's also an old case, so they also had to do their homework, remember details, come back. I remember one very funny incident, and also language barrier, right? Malayalam and English. So Anwar, remember the conversation with Anwar? Anwar was in charge of the IT department and mobile department of the police. And so one day I said, okay, Anwar, what happened when you found this clue? This very important clue Anwar found. So I said, Anwar, how did you feel? Okay, sir. I said, no, Anwar, what you're doing? I am an author, right? So I'm looking for the big emotion. I have to write about it. You know, so I'm saying, Anwar, no. When you found that clue, how did you feel? Sir, okay. I said, Anwar, how can you be okay? So then I called up another friend. His name is Saif. I don't know if it's Saif. Are you here? So Saif was translator. So I said, Saif, please ask Anwar the question. So Saif, when 30 seconds he asked question. Then Anwar replied for 1 minute. So 1 minute Anwar replied. So I am now thinking, Acha kuch milega. You know? Anwar, so I said, Saif, what did Anwar say? He said it was okay, sir.
That's the Malayalam understatement,
yeah.
I guess.
It's a simple magic there.
Yeah.
There is a principle in the police.
You just do your duty.
Yeah, it's a need to know.
It was, and all of you were doing your duty.
The principle is based on need to know. We don't know to what extent the communication is to be carried over to.
But now this book has everything. This book is the only book on Chelembra bank robbery that has all details of the investigation. You will know how the smartest criminal of India called Babu, made the Kerala police chase them in frustration for 56 days. But in Hindi, there is one saying, I don't know if you have that in Malayalam, कि कानून का हाथ लंबा होता है. Do you have something in Malayalam like that?
നിയമത്തിന്റെ കൈകൾ വളരെ നീളമുള്ളതാണ് എന്താ പറയാ നമ്മൾ?
कानून का हाथ लंबा है, it will reach.
നീളമുള്ളതാണ്.
So it will reach, and it reached Babu.
Anirban, you had the launch of the book was by Mohanlal. Was that a very calculated move?
I love Mohanlal. All of
Who
you
don't
love
you
Lalitan. Lalitan, all of you like him, yeah. So I was very fortunate to have Mohanlal sir launch the book in Kochi in August, and all of the team was there as well. We were fortunate to meet him, and he was very, very humble. He's a very humble man. The first time I met him, I walked in and I was like this, and I said, "Can I hug you?" So he said, "Why?" So I said, "No, because I want to know you're real." And then he said, "Of course I am real." And then, he hugged me. So it was a very emotional moment to have Mohanlal sir, do the launch. 30 years ago, in a film festival in Delhi, Siri Fort, I bumped into this Malayalam actor and I told him, "Sir, I really love your work." And then 30 years later, that same man launched my book. So, in life, everything comes in a circle. At that point, as a student, I did not know, ki in the future, I will become an author and he will launch my book. But, in life, everything, is in circle.
What actually draws you to write about crime?
Masala. People always love masala stories, no? Ki, what happened to Nambiar sir's house? Mrs. Nambiar is seeing somebody. Oh, everybody has their eyes on gossip. Ki, next house, what is happening? Also, in true crime, we always think that it will not happen to us. No? We think, "Arey, uske saath hua hai. We are safe." Yeah. It won't be hamare saath, but crime can catch up and happen to you like this in an instant. So I like telling true crime stories because I like to get into the head of the criminal. So my first book, which is about the serial killers of India, called The Deadly Dozen, I go into the head of the criminal. Even in this case, thankfully to the team that I really got to go into the head of Babu. And Babu was such a complex character, my God. You know,
Well, writing about crime, do you think it helps encourage crime or does it sort of deter people from doing it? Because sometimes you build up a very heroic portrait of the criminal and you tell them ways in which the crime can be committed.
what do you have to say? Do movies on crime and books on crime encourage criminal, or
Them from doing the crime.
Or
Does it make them
what
afraid?
do you think?
No. We know the people very close. No? Being in police, we have many occasions to meet the people very, very close. And we can see that ഇപ്പോൾ ചില സിനിമയിലൊക്കെ വളരെ പ്ലാൻഡ് ആയിട്ട് ചിലതൊക്കെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ ദൃശ്യം ഫിലിം വളരെ കൂടുതൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കേരളത്തിലെ ഒരു മെയിൻ ഫിലിം മോഹൻലാൽ അഭിനയിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു നല്ല ഫിലിം ദൃശ്യം. പക്ഷേ ദൃശ്യം ആരൊക്കെ റിയൽ ലൈഫിൽ റിപ്പീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ, തേർഡ് ഡേ ദേ ഹാവ് ഫെൽ ഇൻ അവർ ഫീറ്റ്. തേർഡ് ഡേ അവർ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട് അവരെ. കാരണം ഒരിക്കലും ആ സിനിമയിൽ കാണുന്നമായിരുന്നും ഒരു കാരണവശാലും ആക്ച്വൽ ക്രൈം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതൊക്കെ സിനിമയിൽ 3 ഇറ്റ്സ് ലൈഫ് ഓഫ് അബൌട്ട് 2.5 hours only. We are having enough time.
And also in the end, the law will catch up. You know,
Law will catch up.
If law can catch up with Babu, law will catch up with any criminal. See, and crime is going to happen. There is, in life, we have 2 choices always: to take the good path or to take the bad path. It is up to us to choose whether, which path we take. It is human. Criminals can't be stopped. Potential criminals, if they already have the plan to be criminals, they will be criminals. But after they become criminals, you have them to catch.
Have you, sir, as well as you, Anirban, in course of your research or experience, have you ever encountered what is known in literature as the perfect crime, where there are no loopholes?
Have you, no crime is perfect.
No crime is perfect. Because any loophole will be there. എവിടെയെങ്കിലും ഒരു മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പിന്നെ എന്തായാലും ഒരു ചെയ്യുന്നൊരു കാര്യമല്ലേ, കാരണം അത് ആ സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും കിട്ടായിരിക്കില്ല. പിന്നെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് അൺഡിറ്റക്റ്റായി പോകുന്നു? പക്ഷേ ബീയിങ് ഇൻ കേരള പോലീസ് ഞാനത് കൂടുതൽ ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്നതല്ല, എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാവുന്ന ഒന്നാണ്. ഇപ്പോഴും ഞങ്ങളോട് ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ചോദിക്കുക അറിയോ, നിങ്ങൾ സുകുമാരക്കുറുപ്പിനെ പിടിച്ചതല്ലോ എന്നാണ് ചോദിക്കുക. പക്ഷേ അതല്ലാതെ വേറെ അത് പിടിക്കാത്തുള്ളൂ. ചിലപ്പോൾ ഈവൻ ഐ തിങ്ക് സുകുമാരക്കുറുപ്പ് ഈവനൊക്കെ ഈ ഒരു 30-40 years മുമ്പുള്ള ഒരു ഒഫൻസാണ്. അല്ലാതെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഐ എം നോട്ട് ചാലഞ്ചിങ്, പക്ഷേ അത് ഇപ്പോഴും ചോദിക്കുക സുകുമാരക്കുറുപ്പിനെ പിടിച്ചില്ലല്ലോ എന്നാണ്.
Like this was supposed to be the perfect crime. What Babu committed, he thought it was the perfect crime. Till a part of the story, even Kerala police was thinking, how will they catch this guy? Because he was always 2 steps ahead of Kerala police. It was supposed to be the perfect crime for him also, but it wasn't.
Well, I would like you to talk about the language that you have used in this book. It's very interesting. The English is simple, it's readable, it's racy. Plus, you have used a lot of Malayalam terms in the book. This is quite ironic because he is not a Malayalam writer.
But have I managed to capture Kerala and Malayalam properly, yes or no?
Yes, that is what was very surprising for me, because when a Malayalam writer writes in English, a lot of care is taken to keep Malayalam out of the text. But you have made it a point to sort of push in Malayalam at every juncture. Was there any reason for this? Or?
So my first book has 9 languages. I write according to the region. So that is my writing trope as they say, or style. I was very scared and nervous, not about writing the crime portion of this book. I was very nervous about whether I will do justice to Kerala, Malayalam and Malayalis. Because it is a very specific culture, specific way you live, the language, your gestures, the way you speak, everything is very specific, and even to a region. Like Babu at one point, which I had to research, he spoke in a northern dialect, North Kerala dialect, right? I would, as a Bengali, if I didn't do my research, everything would be Malayalam for me. But when I researched, I found out that he spoke like a North Kerala dialect, and which was one of the big clues that the cops sort of got at one point of time. So I wanted to be very true to Kerala. Because, if people of Kerala don't like the book about Kerala, then I have not done my job. It's very easy for some American to sit in New York and read this book and say, oh my, beautiful, oh my God, Kerala, God's own country. Aise bolega theek hai. But if Kerala people say, what he has written, this fellow nonsense person, then it's not I haven't done my job, but I have done my job.
Yeah, and it's quite surprising. Now the Malayalam version too will come out.
Yes, the Malayalam is being written, the version of this book is, the translation is being written. Also the dialogues, why I wanted was, when you read the book, you should feel like you're watching a film. It's like a screenplay.
My next question actually, when is the movie?
It's soon. So I wanted to give the punch dialogues in Malayalam, like we have in movies, right? So a lot of the punch dialogues are in Malayalam, and the culture-specific dialogues are there. Movies coming soon. The rights have been bought by a production house, and we should hopefully see it in 2023. Hopefully.
Before we move on to the audience where they can ask questions, I'd just like to ask one more question. Your new project is a memoir, right?
Yes.
So
my next
just
book.
Tell us about it.
I grew up in Darjeeling. How many people know Darjeeling? Darjeeling, Kanchenjunga, Kalimpong. So it's the north of West Bengal. I grew up in a boarding school in the late 1980s. And the Gorkha land agitation was happening. You know about Gorkha land? Right? So they wanted a separate state. So there was a lot of violence. It was like Kashmir. There was a lot of violence and all of that at that point of time. And as a child, I was forced to see a lot of the violence. So my next book is about a memoir about growing up and being forced to become adults at the age of 16. So it's called The Hills Are Burning. It's available for pre-order on Amazon right now, so you can order it. If you don't like my book, I will give you the money back because I know it's a good book. Confidence hona chahiye, confidence.
Usually writers want a niche, right? They want to be known either as a children's writer or a crime fiction writer. Why don't you insist on dismantling this niche?
Yeah, why should I? I have stories to tell. Why should I only tell true crime stories? I have many stories to tell. Do you watch only horror movies? No. You will watch horror movie, melodrama, romantic, whatever. So I write true crime, I write poetry, I write children's books, I write everything because I have stories to tell. And so life is short, one life. Tell as many stories and then finish, the end.
A long way to go before that, I'm sure. And now we go over to the audience. Questions?
So all 4 of my books are available at the bookstore. Please support authors and buy the book. And you'll get it signed by the people who actually solved the case and me, who wrote about it.
First of all, let me congratulate you for writing this brilliant book.
Thank you, sir.
I read it in one go.
Oh.
And I felt, it was amazing.
Thank
and when
you.
I reviewed it also, before I reviewed it, I went to Chelembra.
Oh.
And I visited the Chelembra place also. Then Mr. Vijayan, when he came to Delhi, I had a meeting with him. He told me that you did not go to Chelembra for doing this book. Am I right?
Yeah, I wasn't, because of the pandemic I couldn't. So I had to download images of the bank, maps of the bank, even places, so that I could visually write about the place. And when people who have read the book, they have said I have described it exactly how it is. That it has, I have done justice or not. Yes? So I'm happy. So any other question?
And for your information, that building is not existing now. Yeah.
Okay. The bank is gone.
Highway,
Yeah.
highway extension.
Yeah. Any other question on the book, Chelembra, writing, my love life, anything?
ഈ പോലീസ് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റിഗേഷനെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരുപാട് പുസ്തകങ്ങളും ചിത്രകഥകളും അമർ ചിത്രകഥകളും മറ്റുമൊക്കെ ഇറങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇതിൽ ഒരു ത്രില്ലെന്ന് കണ്ടു വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതിലുള്ള പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത മെൻ്റൊക്കെ പേര് അതേമാതിരിയാണ്. വിജയൻ സർ ഈസ് ലൈക്ക് വിജയൻ സർ ഓൺലി. Vikraman's name is Vikraman only.
Yes, all true characters. I have not changed anything. And what I wanted to also do was, see, we see police people as police officers. They are doing duty, they are solving crime, and that's it. I wanted to show them as human beings. You know, go behind the scenes. What about his family? What about, Anwar used to spend day in, day out. You know, what was his wife going through? You know, Vijayan sir's frustration. There is a scene where I, of course, took permission of Vijayan sir and I said, can I please write this scene when you broke down and you cried because out of frustration and, the helplessness. These are not robots. You know, the police officers are humans like you and me. They have a family, they have frustration, they have good days and bad days. So for me, that was very important in, portraying them as human beings. So that is what I wanted to do.
And is there any other case in Kerala that you would like to think about and write upon?
Cyanide Jolly. That woman is something else. Oh, she planned it so well. So yeah, so that's one I want to, write about hopefully soon. Yeah. Any other question? Super. Thank you so much. Please buy the book. Please support the book because, we write. I spent 2 years writing this book, so please support it and you won't be disappointed. It is a landmark case of the Kerala police and you definitely need to know how difficult and how tough and of course how masala this case has, how much of masala. So you must read this book and support it.
So thank you very much, Anirban sir, Vikraman sir and Mohan sir. It was a real pleasure to be able to talk about crime with people who are experts at it, but on the right side of the case as well.
Yes.
So I'm sure people here will be definitely interested in reading this book, particularly because a person outside Kerala has dealt with a crime that happened in Kerala with so much depth, with so much understanding and with so much sensitivity. So all the best to you, sir.
Thank you.
And looking forward to reading
and
more
I
from
want
you.
to thank the Kerala Literature Festival, DC Books, Ravi DC, Govind DC for making me a part of this festival. And may I just say one thing. I have been to literature festivals across India. I have never seen such a brilliant crowd in a literature festival. You guys know your stuff. You haven't come here to be tourists. You come, you ask proper questions, you know about the subject, you want to learn more. I mean, hats off to Kerala. You guys have, and this is a most beautiful literature festival. So please read books so that you can come back to the festival every year. So thank you.